Memorial Day weekend is a time to honor those who lost their lives while serving in the U.S. military. For the millions of veterans who have served and come home, assimilating back into civilian life isn't always easy. But in Washington state, there's a program helping ease the burden, the Red Badge Project. Co-founded by well-known Hollywood actor Tom Skerritt, the project uses the creative process of storytelling to help veterans begin to rebuild their sense of purpose and individuality. For some viewers, the following story may be hard to watch as it reflects on suicide.
Step up the path and the leaves get thicker. Connected from above as leaves drift gently down.
Army veteran Howard Harrison writes of loss.
And the alders that are dying, as we must all when our time comes.
His words drawn from wounds inflicted during his time in service.
Thinking of my Nam buddies who aren't enjoying this day.
His story, one of hundreds that's come to light.
She waits by the oven.
Thanks to the Seattle-based veterans program, the Red Badge Project.
9 more had been wounded.
Its mission? To help veterans work through issues like PTSD and reassimilation by teaching them the art of storytelling.
You share things there that you may not have shared with anybody else, and you feel safe in sharing that with other veterans, and you really get to know them year after year.
Harrison served as a medic in Vietnam and was suffering from PTSD when he found the writing program.
I had just became a new mother for the first time.
Crystal Dandridge, a torpedoman's mate, adjusting to civilian life after a dozen years in the Navy.
What had your transition back out of the military been like?
It was hard. I felt displaced. It just took years.
Yeah.
Until I started going to Red Badge.
You got good writing.
The nonprofit's co-founder, actor and Air Force veteran Tom Skerritt first saw the potential storytelling could have while looking for a way to help his fellow veterans who were struggling.
It starts with that wanting to help someone else rather than talking about it. I just get tired of talking about this, if I can do something about it. And this man.
Yeah, got into the picture.
Evan Bailey, who served in the Army in Iraq and Afghanistan. He met Skerritt just after returning to the States.
We had met about, the same time. PTSD and these troubling numbers of veteran suicides were really starting to emerge to the forefront. And obviously you want to help, but what can you do? And so Tom had a great idea. I knew my way around the military a little bit. And so we set out to see what we could do.
Well, I know that's why you went to West Point.
The duo proved to be the perfect combination. Bailey knowing which doors to knock on, Skerritt's Hollywood resume helping open them up.
Boys, what have you done?
Movie credits from A River Runs Through It and Steel Magnolias to Top Gun.
Gentlemen, this school is about combat.
Did you have a moment of, it's Viper?
Of course, right?
I had to say it.
A good pilot is compelled to always evaluate what's happened.
I gotta say, Tom is the most genuine. He is in this not because he's a celebrity, but because he cares.
Right.
And with these vets, you can't fake it.
About a year after meeting, in 2012, their pitch became reality.
I think it really saved my life.
With the inaugural class of the Red Badge Project working in partnership with Veteran Affairs centers and hospitals across Washington state.
Do they have feelings?
Inside the classrooms, multimedia writer Warren Etheridge.
Something about the first time you get a story on the page.
And author Suzanne Morrison teach the mechanics of storytelling.
So the first stanza, it's my grandmother's hands.
Morrison leads the classes for women only.
We talk a lot about authority in this group because, that's what an author is. I am in charge here. I am in charge of my own story. I get to say what happened, and it did happen.
Stories like Dandridge's. She writes about her first day back to work at her assigned naval station after having her son. She was gifted a handmade doll by a shipmate's mother.
Alma's doll was white with blonde hair, and mine was brown with black hair. I knew immediately that my workplace was no place for my black Raggedy Andy doll, as I stood out enough by being a black female in an all-white male office.
Dandridge was the first person to arrive at work the next morning. When she opened the door,
Nothing could have ever prepared my mind nor my heart for what I was about to see. My Raggedy Andy doll lynched by single rubber bands linked together to form a noose, dangling from a thumbtack, piercing my baby's picture straight through his forehead. I would hear a stern and steady voice abruptly interrupting my flow of tears by stating, "If you value your Navy career, you will not talk to NIS, Naval Investigative Services."
Dandridge says she was later informed that the person responsible received disciplinary action, but was allowed to remain in the military.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. What did sharing that initially do for you?
Reading it out the first time, it was like I gained some awareness of it, like acceptance that it happened. Like this really and truly happened. But I also gained some healing and a perspective of the whole ordeal.
Invisible battle wounds beginning to heal one page at a time.
While I was writing it, I just totally broke down.
The Red Badge Project is now in 5 cities throughout Washington, with over 1,000 veterans having taken part.
Afterwards, and the regret.
Your mission, you said you have to do something. You have done something. You've had men and women tell you you've helped save their lives. What does that mean to both of you?
Takes your breath away, because you know you did. Can't deny that, because I was looking in your eyes like, you know me. Thank you.
I tell my kids this when they ask me what I did in the military. We take care of each other. That's what we do. And so that's what I continue to do through Red Badge.
And it's really an incredible program. Should point out there are therapists that are there in the classrooms as people are dealing with some of these issues. And when Scarrett had this idea, he and Warren Etheridge, one of those teachers, had worked together to start the film school in Seattle. They saw with everyday people the power that storytelling had with trauma, and that's why that initial idea was sparked with Tom Scarrett. Some incredible work they're doing.
When you're the author, you're the authority.
That's
you're in
exactly
charge of the
Brilliant.
story.
Yeah.